Hello guys, good evening. Once again I'm here with a new topic. Today we'll be talking about environmental monitoring, most precisely ambient air monitoring, and some of the queries or doubts that generally EHS people have related to this topic. So let's understand what is ambient air. Basically ambient represents the air which is outside the factory boundary areas or factory premises, but outside their production areas. So this is called ambient air monitoring, where generally there is no uh, production activities. And there is another term which is used for monitoring, air monitoring, which is done inside the factory premises, which we generally call as work zone air monitoring. And generally this is the basic difference between these two terms. Now ambient air monitoring, as per national air quality uh, index, there are 12 parameters which need to be governed by which are governed by this national air quality index. So these 12 parameters are like you know SO2, NO2, PM 2.5, PM10, arsenic, lead, nickel, benzene, benzopyrene. These are the 12 uh, air monitoring parameters which need to be checked in the working outside the peripheral area of your factory. But then question arises whether it is mandatory to do all the 12 ambient air monitoring exercise in the factory. What will be the frequency of conducting this ambient air monitoring exercise? So first of all, to reduce the confusion which arise from this particular question, the answer is very simple. You need to go through the pollution control board's consent to operate, that is awarded to you as per your application, and they are going to there it is going they are going to define the frequency that you need to follow. At certain cases it can be monthly basis, or some of the cases it can be like quarterly or 6 monthly also, depending upon your industry setup which MPCB feels, and accordingly they will define the frequency of monitoring. So if it is highly polluted or it falls under red category, definitely it will be more frequent, like monthly basis. But in case you are falling under white or green category, maybe the monitoring frequency will be very less. So maybe it may be once in a year as well, or maybe once in 6 months also. Apart from this, you also need to understand uh, whether we need to, another question is like, do we need to conduct all the air monitoring parameters, like 12 parameters in my factory premises as per the environment ambient air monitoring program? Then the answer is no. The Again, you need to check your consent to operate criteria. They are going to then there are the parameters which you need to monitor, because it is quite logical that maybe your production process is as such, you are not going to uh, produce nickel or arsenic in the surroundings from your production processes. So basically, why we call it is why we are conducting this ambient air monitoring, and why we conduct work zone air monitoring. That understanding also we should have clarity. So first of all, this ambient air monitoring which we conduct is basically is being conducted to make you make the industry understand make the industry aware their air pollution load which they are giving it to the surroundings, that is to the environment, and ultimately it is going to affect the surroundings, flora, fauna, or the all kind of ecosystem, or maybe the surrounding neighbors. So that is why basically this ambient air monitoring parameters or this exercise is being carried out as per the pollution control requirement. But then work zone air monitoring which is being conducted, it is more of a health factor related monitoring, wherein we come to know whether these pollutions or the air pollution things, which is air pollution loads which are being being emitted from the processes are actually harmful for the health of the workers or not. So there are ironically in India we have we do not have very concrete parameters or monitoring facilities as well to understand whether it is actually there is no stringent norms as such to define what kind of levels should be maintained not to harm our health. But in that case, if you go to Europe, norms like OSA have defined stringent standards which are generally followed if it is being conducted in if we are conducting industrial work zone air monitoring. But then again, many people conducts like parameters which are very common, like ambient air monitoring parameters. So that is also not going to help to understand the health impact of your pollution level. It depends upon basically what kind of contaminants or air pollution is coming out of your processes. So that's why it is very important to refer your MSDS or the process parameters to understand what kind of parameters you need to monitor at the work zone level. So again, another very common doubts that most of ACS professionals have, and there are a lot of debates about it as well. It's like it is about the locations and the number of locations, the locations where the ambient air monitoring need to be conducted, and the number of locations that need to be selected. Many says that you need to divide the locations locations at the four corners of a boundary. Somebody will tell that you need to monitor at the 5 locations, or somebody will say 3. So there are a lot of ambiguity regarding the locations of monitoring. So in that case, the logic is quite logical, because there is no access standards or very stringent reference which says that you need to conduct this number of monitoring. So in that case, actually you need to see the areas from where your emissions can go to the outer peripheral boundary of your factory. So that is and then you need to self identify there are how many locations you need to conduct this monitoring to prove that your air emissions is not going out of your factory, and which is not very harmful for the if it is going out of the factory also, it is not actually harmful for the environment. So that is why these locations you need to define accordingly. So there is this myth is there that you need to select all the four sides of your factory, or maybe at the some of the areas like in front of the factory. It's not like that. You need to see at the locations from where your maximum air pollution load can go to the outside peripheral area of the factory or the boundary. So this is how we can find out the locations, and even the locations positioning. In the location position, as I told you just now, again I am repeating, you need to see the areas where the pollution load is high, or from where actually your maximum air pollution's load is going out to the factory boundaries. So in these areas you need to set up your ambient air quality monitoring kit, high volume sampler kit, machine, and then you need to identify the pollution level in the atmosphere. So I hope with this I am able to clarify some of the doubts which are always there in the mind of HS professionals regarding the locations of the ambient air monitoring exercise, or what is the difference between oxygen monitoring and ambient air monitoring, and the frequency of ambient air monitoring. So yeah, so apart from this, even if at times if you are having ISO 45000 ISO 14000 and 2015 standards, so as per your ISO standard requirement, as a good practice, even you can increase the frequency irrespective of what is being mentioned in your consent to operate. So if it is always good that you are going for more stringent monitoring. So if suppose it is mentioned maybe 6 monthly or maybe quarterly, and if you are doing it monthly, it is absolutely fine, because it will give more weightage, more value addition to the exercise. If you are feeling that okay, at times you need to monitor what is being written in the consent to operate, then you can definitely go for it. And if you are not following that way also, at times, if due to your abnormal industrial process activities, where actually your where there is some malfunction, it is always advisable that you are carrying out ambient air monitoring to prove in the court of law, saying that the parameters are not actually exceeding the the defined legal parameters. So this is how we can go about. So thank you very much. I'll be meeting you again soon with one new topic. Thank you.